Part 1. White Clouds. Lone Moon. To War. Together, the people of Fodlan relish the beauty of the brilliant moon overhead as another year ends. They recall sad partings and new acquaintances alike, but each person must still.
I'm seeing if this is different from when I was with the Edelgard troop, but I don't think it is.
Spring grows stronger, and
I'll just let it play out.
The moon still haunts the sky, a silent reminder, perhaps, of some inescapable truth.
Yep, that's the same. Well, at least now I know I can skip it when I do the Blue Lions route. How's it going?
Unforgivable! I cannot fathom that the Adrestian Empire would embark on such a violent course of action.
The fault is my own.
Can you not?
I failed to see the wickedness within Edelgard's heart. She plotted with ill-meaning strangers to achieve her own ambitions and defile the Holy Tomb. If that is not wicked, what is? Or perhaps her ambitions are even grander than we know. Perhaps she is planning to make herself a false deity by demonizing the Church of Seros.
I don't think she's interested in that.
Adrestia received its very name through a divine oracle. To injure the goddess is a sin most foul that shall not be forgiven, nor forgotten. We must stop the Empire, and quickly. I have returned, Rhea. Welcome back, Shamir. Were you able to discern the Empire's movements? Their main troops are marching towards Garreg Mach. It is said that they will join forces with Edelgard's army and arrive within 2 weeks.
2 weeks? That is not enough time. It will require all of our efforts just to prepare our defenses before then. We must send notice to all surrounding villages at once. We must order the residents of Garreg Mach to flee for their lives.
It will be done. Professor, listen closely.
Yeah?
If our enemy invades the monastery, I will have no choice but to stand upon the battlefield. If something happens to me, I am entrusting my sacred duties to you.
Can you not?
You must have guessed it by now. The truth of who you are.
Just speak plainly.
Perhaps I should say, your lost memories are surely beginning to return. I have acted all these long years as a mere proxy for you. But the duty is yours, and yours alone. Only you can lead the people of Fodlan.
Why?
Rhea, please. You must tell me all that you know. I beg of you. That one is the progenitor god. Am I correct?
In a sense, our dear professor is a vessel, one who carries the power of the progenitor god within. In time, the vessel will become one with the power contained within, and the progenitor god shall return to this world.
I see. I trust that you are aware of the questionable nature of this experiment. But I suppose there is no turning back.
I ask that you help our friend. And in doing so, help her. I am waiting and hoping for the moment when our creator rules this wayward land once more.
I understand. As ever, I will take you at your word.
Lady Rhea, brother, I will do my
And
part
what
as well.
is your story?
Hey, were you eavesdropping? Regardless, I am glad to hear it. You owe your life to the professor, after all. And in the end, they may prove to be our brethren.
You have my gratitude, Seth. And you as well, Flame. As followers of the progenitor god, it is up to us to see our mission through.
I don't like it. Something's up. I think 30 is the level you need to be to become a master class. God, what is talking? I don't even know. Save scum. No, not marketplace. Come on, buddy. And now I find out if reloading actually affects the outcome or if it's predetermined. Is there no, like, load or return to title screen option? Really? I'm gonna have to do this? Okay. Now let's try again, and if it still fails, I'll give it one more shot. And if it fails 3 times in a row, I'm just going to assume that save scumming doesn't help. It can just let you get the seal back if you fail. I mean, I've seen how level up works, so I wouldn't be surprised if that's how it was. Okay, that's 2 failures. One more and I'll be forced to move on. Yeah. Come on, dude. Nope. I'll just take the L then. Unfortunate. Sweet.
It's all thanks to hard work.
Okie doke. Ferdinand's still here? Hey, Gilbert.
I didn't like being a professor.
Half of the Empire's 6 great noble families have of the other 3. Lord Vestra was assassinated. Hubert, his Bernadetta's father, Count Varley, is under house arrest. And my father, he was stripped of his role as Prime Minister. As a result, how
about you join me?
Oh, Professor, well... half of the and my father...
Oh yeah, Dimitri's still here. Give me that speed up for the
I
moment.
have some experience. Let me consider. How the
That still
meal
looks wrong.
tastes.
I don't think that's how cooking works. But who am I to argue with speed?
This is...
Oh, said it's in my group now. That was sneaky. I mean, they did kind of hint at it, but I don't know. I never got like a game message that said, "Hey, Sedith, join your group."
The flavor is nostalgic to me for...
I hear the Alliance's territory will be in danger if we don't get rid of these Empire guys. If the Alliance is in danger, that means my sister's in danger too. There's no way I'm gonna allow that. It doesn't matter how many guys they throw at us. I'll beat them all. These muscles aren't just for show. But first, I gotta get some food.
Of course.
The most important nobles in the Empire are known for taking power from the previous emperor, my father included. I didn't think it possible that the Imperial Princess could ascend the throne so easily. However, it seems that both my father and Caspar's are supporting Edelgard. Having both the Minister of Domestic Affairs and Minister of Military Affairs on your side gives you total control over the Empire's military and finances. We must have been making preparations for quite some time without anyone noticing.
That's quite some support.
We're falling behind. I don't know that we can keep up with the new Emperor. To think that she was able to raise an army of that size right under our noses. However hard we fight, I give us a 50% chance of winning. The enemy has too many advantages. We must...
We'll be okay. Hmm?
It's my job to protect Lady Rhea. I've got to do it. And I got to do it as best I can. And if that means I got to die for her, then I will. How could Edelgard treat Lady Rhea like she's the bad guy? She's never been anything
Have you
but
ever
nice to
seen
everybody.
Lady Rhea when
I
she's
just don't get it at all.
really pissed off? It's frightening.
Those who serve the church must cast aside all selfish desires and devote themselves fully to their beliefs. But is it right to wield piety as a weapon? The church,
And now you see where Edelgard's coming from.
The Empire is moving quickly. Edelgard must have been preparing for this for a while now. If you really think about it, she must have been planning for this even before you got the Sword of the Creator. Of course she was always a step ahead of us. We were blinded by the ball, and the battle of the eagle and lion, and everything else. I refuse to go down like this, though. So let's do something about it. What do you say? It's you and me, Teach. We've got this.
Indeed.
What is Edelgard even trying to achieve? She wants to destroy the church so badly that she'll take on anyone who doesn't fall in line? I don't get it. I just can't believe she'd start a war over it. Not to mention using such nasty tactics to get her way. Could Captain Gerald's death have also been a part of her plan? Don't you go and
I
die.
don't think she planned for
Captain
that, no.
Gerald would never forgive you.
That group kind of acts of its own accord. She just turns a blind eye because they're occasionally useful for her purposes.
Edelgard became emperor and raised an army, huh? Who knew the kid had it in her? I mean, yeah, of course, I knew she'd be emperor eventually, but the more I think about it, the more surprised I am. I wonder who's gonna win. But would it really be okay for Edelgard to win?
Who knows?
Professor, what actually happened last month? Edelgard is the Emperor? And she's declared war against the Church? So now we're at war? I really don't understand any of this.
War never changes.
The Empire's aggression cannot stand. But if we are going to attack them now, we must be honest with ourselves about our chances of success. It goes without saying that I will fight the Imperial Army with everything I have for as long as I am able. But House Gloucester's territory is adjacent to Imperial lands. Let us proceed with caution.
Oh.
Things must be pretty crazy in Fargus about now. My father must be beside himself. I don't get it. Why did Edelgard make enemies with the nobles? Ideal she believed in so much, she was willing to start a war over them?
Well, you know how
Those must
much
be
you
some
hate
lofty
how the
ideals, to
nobles
say the
work.
least.
How much you hate crests. That's why.
Once the Imperial army reaches the monastery,
We'll have no choice but to fight.
What's going to happen to us?
I believe you. With the Knights on our side, and especially with you, Professor, I know we can do this.
Now, who has ties to Srang? Did you, perhaps? Well, now's a good time to find out.
His Highness calls for the head of Edelgard. For me, that is cause enough to fight. His Highness would not say that I can think of only one explanation. She must have been involved in the tragedy of Dusker.
She wasn't.
His Highness...
But it's understandable why Dimitri may think so.
Professor, I guess it's easy
It
for
was
me to
Solon
see
and
this
his
now.
group again.
I'm so glad I'm from the Alliance. I had no idea Edelgard was so scary. And Dimitri seems totally different than before. I wouldn't bend a knee to either of them. Well, I definitely don't hate him. He rarely takes things seriously. But somehow, I just know we can always rely on him. Well, if we're forced to protect this place, our future's going to be dark no matter what.
I would prefer a dank future. That's Leonie's. Have I talked to Dimitri? I have not. It'll be interesting to see the start of his transition to totally obsessed psychotic dude.
To think that the Flame Emperor was Edelgard all along. Flame's abduction? Gerald's murder? The turmoil in Ramire Village? Whether or not she was the mastermind behind what happened, it at least seems like she was involved. And yet she was able to remain so composed while she was enrolled at the Officers' Academy.
Indeed. Spoopy.
What does war with Edelgard mean for us, Professor? And why did she even want that? I wonder why she'd think that. That's how it always goes, I guess. You never realize something can't be undone until you've done it.
There's someone in the shopping area. Sweet. Better get out of here, dog and cats. You don't want to die.
You know, Professor, I'm glad that I came to the Officers' Academy. I feel accepted here. I've learned so much. Honestly, I'm surprised at how much I've grown. So, I will not let the Academy be destroyed. It's important to me, and I will protect it. I feel braver just hearing you say that. We're gonna win this, Professor.
You're not gonna do anything. You suck. Sorry. You get to warm the bench.
What do you require? Farewell.
Hey there.
Got some stuff could use repairing. Mostly, it's just that iron bow, really.
Is this it? There you go.
Anything that could use upgrading. I think that takes root steel. Yeah. So can't do that. That also takes root steel. I believe short axe does as well. Sure does. Honestly, I'm not sold on the Horse Slayer, so I'm not going to invest the stones to upgrade it. Whew.
Come back anytime.
Welcome. Please come again.
Let me buy a few chest keys, actually.
Welcome. This one? Thank you. Please come again.
Hey, welcome. You have a good eye. A pleasure doing business. Come again.
Yeah, well, don't know if that's going to be helpful or not. Hey, what do you have to say?
Greetings, Professor. Something to report. Unexpected, isn't it? Apparently, this is the first time Garreg Mach has been invaded in its whole 995-year history. It's my job to protect this gate, so even if enemies come in droves, I will never let them through. I hope we both survive. Let's battle with all our might and pray we win this thing.
Man, I really wish I could recruit you. You're such a bro. Hey, Dimitri. How you feeling, buddy? You feeling good?
Hello there.
Hey.
How dare they threaten the goddess? There is no need to worry, I promise you that. In the days of yore, the goddess would grow
3 notes. I've reunited with my daughter after years of being apart. But I'm the one who left her in the first place. I don't know what to say or even how to speak to her. Hi, doggy. Oh, I thought that was the dude. That's why I was confused. I'm not good at talking to others. I can talk to birds, horses, and other animals just fine. But when it comes to people, I freeze up. Try pretending the person you're talking to is a horse. I wish to make more friends, but my brother always interferes. How can I get him to back off? Well, trying to persuade him is not a good idea, I guess.
Singing is so much fun. I'll get...
Hey! That's a good start. What's up, dude? Hey.
I'll have that girl's head. Just you wait.
I'm just gonna
Professor,
get away from you.
Meet someone who is willing to turn their back on the world, just to uphold their own beliefs. I've spent my whole life running in fear, and now surely we can win if we rely on each other.
Indeed.
I guess we have no choice but to fight, have we? Oh, but why would Edelgard do something like this? I'm sure we'll be all right, though, Professor. The goddess will keep us safe. Professor. War is breaking out again, is it not?
Again?
There was a truly terrible war once upon a time.
How old are you?
I never wanted another war. All we can do is steel ourselves for the fight ahead.
How old are you?
Need something?
Yeah, I need to know how old Flame is.
See you again
That was a
soon.
really weird thing to say.
So Edelgard, the one who calls herself the Flame Emperor, was connected to those strange beings. The Imperial Army might be using even more terrifying methods than we know. You had better be cautious, Professor. Any amount of carelessness might prove to be our undoing.
Yes, indeed. Any shinies?
Hey, you.
The mastermind behind the attacks on the monastery was Edelgard? Wow. Doesn't make much sense, though, does it? There would need to be all sorts of territories and groups tangled up in this sort of mess. I'm gonna stop. I don't really have the head for this political stuff. Mostly I'm worried about my old opera company. I wonder what's happening in the capital right now. I hope they're safe.
Well, they don't have a reason to attack their own cities, as far as I know. So there's that.
Ooh, excuse me. The Holy Tomb held many crest stones. This is the first time I've heard of crest stones being hidden away in such a place. But more importantly, I'm interested to know the Empire's aim. Why would their army desire crest stones? There is power there, yes. And yet, I must think on this. The crest stones lie at the heart of the events surrounding Conan Tower and the chapel as well. And of course, the crest stones somehow transform those traitors and their captives into demonic beasts. Could that possibly be their aim? The Empire's army may well plan to use crest stones to create demonic beasts.
It's possible.
To think Edelgard was somehow connected to the captain's murderer. Well, perhaps it's pointless to get upset about the
Tangentially.
past. My duty now is to prepare for battle. We're depending on your strength, Professor. Crush our enemies. Captain, I hope you're watching.
Nice edit.
We must protect Garrick Mach. Defiling the Holy Tomb was a sacrilege. I will not allow such a thing to happen again. The Archbishop has already given you a new responsibility. I have something to ask of you.
Okay.
Excuse me. How are you, Professor? With the Imperial army drawing near, It is most vexed, thankfully. You have the divine protection of the goddess on your side. Please try to listen carefully. May the goddess...
It won't, but thanks. Ooh. Damn, come on, man. It's not that late.
I cannot believe our negligence allowed the Empire to invade. Edelgard probably gathered her soldiers in Garreg Mach, intending soldiers disguised as merchants and pilgrims to avoid suspicion. They couldn't be better prepared. We'll have a tough time winning.
You did it. Petra. Other way.
I have had the arrival of a letter from Edelgard. She is asking that I join her side. She is making the decision. No, she is deciding if Bridget is a friend or an enemy of the Empire. But my choice is not to be friends. My choice is to fight with you. Bridget is not a friend of the Empire. We will not be following again. We will be ready to fight with you instead. This is not belonging to me.
If I could go back to last month and throttle my carefree self. Now it turns out Edelgard is the Flame Emperor and the new Adrestian Emperor. And she's striking out against the monastery with the full force of the Imperial army behind her. We gotta beat her at her own game. For
Rip. Oh, the prize was a silver lance. Who cares?
That girl is starting an all-out war, isn't she? But an enemy is an enemy, no matter who they are. Don't let compassion for her get in your way.
I don't normally have a problem jumping into a fight, but it feels strange going up against my father. We aren't especially close, but he's not an opponent I'd want to face. I'd almost rather fight a monster. I hope he's not part of the group coming to attack Garreg Mach.
Okay. I thought we'd all be really busy with assignments and getting ready for graduation. Now that things have turned out like this, I guess there's nothing to do but fight.
Alright, check my storehouse. History of Srang. Sylvain. Okay. So Sylvain and Leonie.
Things must... Oh, that's...
Where was Leonie?
Don't you go and die on
Hey.
me, Professor. Oh, that's mine.
Okay. Oh. Report to Sedith. Don't be a dumbass. Down here.
Well,
Well done.
You have my thanks.
That's all for quests, isn't it? Yep. Alrighty. Moving on.
What?
Sweet. Very productive. Sweet.
That was... I don't...
Alright. She's ready for Grimmery now.
Don't.
Oh, I have one more point. I thought I was out. But instead, I'm just dumb.
I'm closing in on expertise.
Okay, I'm all out now. Let's go reason and authority again. Looks good to me.
I have to ask you.
What's up? One of your students keeps challenging me to fight him, but he has no idea how to wield a sword. It's a waste of time for both of us. What am I supposed to do?
I think I get it. Professor.
Excel as a bow knight. Nah. Shamir's birthday.
You called, so I came.
Thank you.
Not bad.
Oh?
Yes.
Oh?
Sure.
Oh?
Sweet.
You always have an interesting look on your face.
What, total blankness?
Yes.
Awesome.
That was delicious.
I am getting so much
It'll
charm.
be fun.
I'm glad.
How do you like? Yeah, I've got this down.
Encloser. Ooh, that stops people from moving, I think.
It's starting to take shape.
As long as it makes me stronger.
One step before the next step. I'm getting much better. I'm starting to get it.
I'm certain I've improved.
Looks like I'm getting it.
Okay, Mercedes is at C+. One more rank and she can use a magic bow. Oh, he's so close.